At launch, the Indy NXT in iRacing looked like it was going to be a success. A modern open-wheel car from a real-world series, fixed setups, oval racing, and a huge wave of interest to start. But fast forward just one season later, and participation tells a very different story. So, what happened to the Indy NXT? Hello race fans and welcome to another video. Today we're diving into the story of the Indy NXT in iRacing that we got at the start of last season. If you're wondering if it's still worth picking up, stick around and I'll break down the data and give you my take. Let's go. So how does the Indy NXT fit into iRacing? Well, it comes in two forms. It fits into the Formula class and the Oval class. The Indy NXT Oval Series is what we're going to be focusing on today. This is a fixed setup, oval-only series featuring the Dallara IL-15, the same car used in the real-life Indy NXT feeder series. As a fixed setup series, it was designed to be accessible with no need to tinker with car settings. Only requiring a C-Class licence is there to bridge the gap between the D-Class Indy Pro and the full-blown IndyCar at B-Class. The premises behind it? A proper open-wheel oval experience, high speed, drafting, precise controls that bridges the gap between casual oval fun and serious open-wheel racing on the ovals. The Indy NXT Oval Series had its back up against the wall before it even started. This is because open-wheel oval racing is relatively low in popularity in iRacing, outside of the main IndyCar, which still has low numbers compared to the NASCAR type stock cars. The D-Class Open Wheel Series has struggled for a long time, rarely going official even in peak time slots. This led to the USF 2000 Oval Series being dropped at the end of Season 3, only leaving the Indy Pro Series at D-Class. This was in an attempt to focus the open wheel drivers into one series at D-Class. This meant that when the Indy NXT car launched, it was one of only 3 open-wheel cars left on the ovals on the ranked side of iRacing. This initially, along with hype of a new series, led to strong numbers, and it appeared that it was going to buck the trend and was finally going to get a good participation oval series for the open-wheelers. But as the season progressed, participation dropped. What started as multiple splits gradually turned into single split races. Off-peak hours became difficult to even go official, a major warning sign for any iRacing series. In the first week at Iowa Speedway, the average field size was a good 15.5 drivers and a total of 234 sessions. Numbers peaked the following week at the ever-popular Charlotte Motor Speedway, with a total of 273 sessions. But by week 7 at North Wilkesboro, the numbers hit rock bottom, only managing an average grid size of 5.6 cars and only 72 sessions in total, a monumental decline from the highs of weeks 1 and 2. The series has shown some improvement since then, never dropping below 100 sessions again, and ending on week 12 with a somewhat respectable average grid size of 9.7 and a total of 103 sessions, so there is still hope it can recover. So why did interest drop? There's probably not one single reason, but probably likely several factors that have all worked together. Firstly, it's a new car and simply, once drivers tried it, the novelty wore off and many simply didn't stick around. The fixed setup limitations lowers the barrier to entry, but it also removes long-term depth for experienced drivers. There's less incentive to grind a series you can't tune or optimise. The small fields create a feedback loop, so when people log in and see low participation, they simply don't register. That causes even fewer races to go official, starting a vicious circle accelerating the decline. And there's also competition from other series. with the more traditional stock car and truck series constantly bringing in higher participation numbers. It seems that people gradually went back to them and gave up on the Indy NXT, with many drivers gravitating towards series with guaranteed full grids. To be clear, the Indy NXT car itself isn't bad. It's actually the opposite, and I've enjoyed driving this car more than anything else last season. When you get a good field, the racing can be fantastic. Close drafting, high speeds and proper open wheel intensity. But these races became less and less common as the season went on, and the data shows that interest hasn't stabilised yet, and consistency is still a challenge. The Indy NXT series in iRacing is a perfect example of how strong launches don't always guarantee long-term success. Without sustained participation, any content can quietly fade away. Whilst the series isn't yet dead, you could argue it's bordering on life support. I'm hoping when the new Indy season starts up again next year, this will bring in a much needed boost to numbers. Which begs the question, is it worth buying now? This has been a tricky question for me as I have enjoyed racing it, but sadly the numbers don't lie. And what's the point in owning content if you can't use it? To me, I would advise you to hang on another season and see how things shape up. If the numbers begin to stabilise and we don't see a further decline, definitely say it's worth a buy. It isn't just the Indy NXT car that has struggled in iRacing. All open wheel cars generally have low participation compared with a more popular stock car type series. I think if we want to see a boost to open wheel racing on the ovals, this needs to start at rookies, as we currently don't have a rookie open wheel oval car. If more people gave a go at rookies, this would likely transfer into more people trying it out at D class and then C class and so on, as currently people are more inclined to move into something like the ARCA car, as it drives more like the street or mini stocks that they've been driving already. If you've raced the Indy NXT car last season, let me know your experience in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you out on track.